Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat petang. Setinggi-tinggi kesyukuran kita kehadrat Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala kerana kita berupaya untuk menzahirkan sekali lagi program Bicara Alam Melayu at FB Live PATMA, dan pada hari ini adalah merupakan program Bicara Alam Melayu siri yang ke-16. Kita telah pun memasuki tahun ke-4 sejak tahun 2021. Baiklah para penonton dalam talian sekalian, saya bagi pihak Perpustakaan Alam dan Tamadun Melayu atau PATMA ingin menzahirkan ucapan selamat datang kepada para penonton dalam talian sekalian ke program Bicara Alam Melayu at FB Live PATMA siri ke-16. Pada kali ini, jawatankuasa program Bicara Alam Melayu at FB Live PATMA akan menampilkan satu lagi topik penyelidikan yang menarik untuk dikongsikan bersama-sama dengan ahli-ahli komuniti pencinta ilmu, baik di kalangan warga Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia ataupun di luar UKM, atau dengan erti kata lain adalah mereka yang cintakan ilmu pengetahuan. Baiklah para penonton dalam talian sekalian, program Bicara Alam Melayu at FB Live PATMA ini adalah merupakan satu manifestasi kepada iltizam Perpustakaan Alam dan Tamadun Melayu untuk melakukan suatu anjakan paradigma dan juga transformasi dalam peranannya kepada komuniti akademik secara khusus dan kepada masyarakat umum. Perpustakaan Alam dan Tamadun Melayu juga tidak hanya mahu dilihat sebagai penyimpan koleksi khazanah ilmu semata-mata, bahkan juga tekad berperanan sebagai wahana dan juga perantara kepada penyebaran ilmu yang terkandung di dalamnya dan juga hasil-hasil penyelidikan para ahli akademik dan penyelidik untuk dikongsikan bersama dengan para pencinta ilmu. Para penonton dalam talian sekalian, pada hari ini kita akan bawakan satu topik penyelidikan menarik dalam bidang atau disiplin pengajian arkitektur atau seni bina. Pada hari ini kita akan bawakan satu topik penyelidikan menarik teknologi baharu dalam meneroka kehalusan seni bina arkitektur atau seni bina. Pada hari ini kita akan bawa secara naratifnya, judul perkongsian ilmu kita pada petang ini adalah Dari Pondok ke Istana, suatu pengalaman realiti terimbuh. Integrasi realiti terimbuh dalam menggambarkan kearifan tempatan Malaysia dan Scotland, yang bakal dikupaskan oleh seorang penyelidik tempatan dan dua orang penyelidik luar negara. Baiklah para penonton dalam talian sekalian, seterusnya izinkan saya untuk meneruskan kesinambungan atau cara program pada petang ini dalam bahasa Inggeris. Well, good afternoon. First of all, on behalf of the Library of the Malay World and Civilization, PATMA, I would like to welcome our online audiences to the Malay World Talk program at PATMA FB Live. Yes, indeed, it's our great pleasure to have our online audiences to join us in this talk program, which is the 16th series of the program since it was first launched in 2021. We would like to make some transformation on library services, since we intend to be a platform of knowledge sharing with the publics who love knowledge, not merely with the academic circle and higher education students, but also with the outside community. When we talk about the Malay world, it doesn't merely cover on Malay language, philology, and literature, but also encompasses with various disciplines of knowledge, such as terrestrial archaeology, marine archaeology, architecture, administration and governance, management, military, medicine and herbs, medication and treatment, even cuisines. Dear members of the online audience, the knowledge that we are going to present and share this afternoon is on the discipline of architecture by focusing on the application of new technology in visualizing the preserved heritage buildings and monuments in Malaysia and Scotland. By the way, where is the location of Scotland? As for the non-geographical literate, Scotland is a part of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Great Britain consists of Wales, England, and Scotland, which is in the north part of Britain Island. Well, we're not going to discuss about the geography, just as a general knowledge. Well, today's topic is From Hut to Palace, and augmented reality experience, the integration of AR in visualizing the local wisdom of Malaysia and Scotland. Well, it is new to most of us, including me myself, and will be presented by three multinational researchers. And right over here, I introduce physically Dr. Muhammad Solehin Fitri Rosli, the research fellow from Institute of the Malay World and Civilization, University Kebangsaan Malaysia, as the lead applicant, is it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and then followed by Dr. Francesca Board, Ecosystems Knowledge Network, UK, as the co-applicant, and Dr. Mingyu Jiang from Department of Horticulture and Landscape, Scotland's Rural College, UK. Okay, well, it is our great honor to have our special guests who are going to share the knowledge and findings or outputs of their research. And by the way, during the session, we would like to encourage your participations in asking questions, either in Bahasa Melayu or in English. Just write down the questions in the FB, in the Facebook account. Well, without further ado, we hand over the session to our panels led by Dr. Solehin.
All right.
Well, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you very much, Cik Muhamad. First of all, on behalf of my counterparts, Dr. Francesca, Dr. Mingyu, we are so honored to be here because I think this is the best platform for us to share our findings, especially throughout like 8 months of having this kind of very short time, a very short duration of this project. All right. The first thing that the first thing that we would like to address in this project is like we wanted to educate the people about the importance of local wisdoms, especially from a different perspective, talking about the Malaysian context as well as from the Scotland context. So in this case, we'll be so blessed because we're able to secure a grant, from the British Council, whereby I know it's not much, but I think we have done a lot of things within a very short time because of several exhibitions, sharing session with the student, and I think this will be the last platform for us to share with the much more wider audience, we feel so blessed. In this case, we would like to first and foremost, we would like to thank the British Council because without the support from British Council under the grant of Connection Through Culture 2023, I think we couldn't achieve what we have done so far. We have worked together, hand by hand to share what we have here in UKM as well as in the Scotland, whereby they will be discussed further by my colleagues. They will be shared by my colleagues, Dr. Mingyu. So what we're going to do here, this is what based on our application last time. Alhamdulillah, we're able to secure, and then our project basically we trying to look into how our architectural, especially in this case, we have two case studies, which the palette itself is time to Bongsu in UKM, as well another one is a boutique in the Scotland. How these both architecture are able to to address or to mitigate the effect of climate change and also rapid development. Whereby we found that some of these kind of local wisdom in terms of the engineering part, in terms of the architectural part, is very important nowadays when we're talking about how this can be used by the local policymakers as well as the designers to address, the current issue, talking about the climate change, which is currently, I think, is already a major issue for all of us nowadays. So since some people believe that we're talking about climate change, talking about local wisdom, it's totally hard to digest somehow. So we were thinking there will be some of approach that we think that it can able to engage people in much more easiest way, much more fun way, in an immersive way using the augmented reality. Yeah. So I wish that for the audience or the viewers here, if you wanted to know or to experience better about our project, I would probably suggest you to install. Go to your phone, get your phone, install the apps of Archivive. We're going to use this. We're going to this is very important because throughout the discussion, we already provide some example from our exhibition boards whereby you can experience what is the augmented reality by scanning to the boards. All right, so try to install this app. Yeah, all right. So this is one of this is some example some of example of our boards, whereby in our case, in the Malaysia context, especially UKM, we are so blessed because we have this kind of very beautiful wooden or timber palace that located just adjacent across our university, and it's belong to us. Yeah, but we didn't realize that this marvel, especially this palace itself, is a key to understand the local wisdom of the Malay people in past. And this is where out of nowhere I was thinking, we should try to explore, or try, in terms of try to explore and share with the people, with the people as well as students, I believe, because I think this is one of the things that we should cherish as part of our identity, because the palace itself is really represent the whole long history of the Malay civilization. Especially, I always use this as narrative of the palace as the last wooden palace of Selangor, even though it's not belong to Selangor. But I think this is really true anyway, because this is the last wooden palace that we can easily find in Selangor. And surprisingly enough, this palace have been built almost like 200 years in the late 19th centuries. Yeah, imagine it can be, you can see this kind of architecture somewhere is very near to us. So if we can go back to the history anyway, so I think this palace basically have been assembled to UKM after there will be like a very there will be after there have been after some effort done by Jabatan Museum Malaysia as well as UKM to preserve this kind of palace anyway, because throughout my research I found that this palace is already in a very bad condition.
After the severe flood.
No, it was located in Kota Baru, somewhere in Kota Baru.
Kelantanese.
The total it's Kelantanese palace, and then it used to be a home for the aristocrat. Oh no, it's for the royalty of Kelantan, because previously this palace has been built by Sultan Mansur, which is the sultan that ranged around like late of 19th centuries, and been built as a dowry to her princess. Yeah, so it's kind of like, I think it's very symbolic in terms of how this place is kind of showing a love of father to his daughters.
And that's why it was called as the youngest princess palace.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. I mean, if I can recall, from my reading, I think this palace is a mini scale of the lost Istana Sri Aka. There's will be another palace in Kota Baru, but already already diminished throughout time because of, once again, it's because of there is no proper maintenance as well as preservation. So I think JMM have done a very good job. To gather all those, this kind of complex, even though it's not the whole complex, it's just one third of it. But I think we JMM and also UKM, they have done a very good job in preserving this palace. Yes. Yeah, and then I think the beauty part of this place anyway, because you can learn a lot of Malay engineered system, talking about how it deal with the climate change in terms of the ventilation, talking about the flooding. So these are the things that we try to highlight in our exhibition anyway. Yeah. So if we can go through here, yeah. For those who haven't visit to Institut Alam, we in ATMA we already provide the sort of like what we call it, sort of like virtual a virtual visit to a virtual 3D of the istana, whereby you can log in, you can visit to our website and you can explore it, having like a virtual a virtual tour to the istana itself, you know. And we were thinking, you know, in order for us to educate more about the climate change, we decided, this is some example, this is some of majors that we have previously. So we decided to come up with this kind of 3D model. If you can see this one, AR. So imagine that, you know, we can have this kind of AR model when you scan it somewhere, and you can bring it to any exhibition easily. Yeah, it's just a matter of to make sure that people are much more engaged, or they kind of, you know, we can try to link between the technology as well as the heritage and come up with this kind of 3D model using the AR. So I think it's something that, especially in terms of the heritage and cultural study, we always looking forward to educate people or to reach out people using the latest technology. Yeah, so I think this is one of our aim for this project. So what we did here, you know, if everyone already installed the apps, you know, you can scan it right away to the layout of the palace. You know, we're already highlighted using all those dash everywhere. So you can scan it there, and you can see, and you can explain yourself looking into the 3D models. Yeah. So these are the example of reports we had for our exhibition. And we are so proud. We ever feel so proud because we're able to bring these bots to the UK exhibition, together with our case study, which is in the Scotland, known as a booty, whereby I think Dr. Mingyu will be explaining later on the booty itself. Yeah, Mingyu, is there, Mingyu?
Oh, hi everyone. Hi, Muhammad.
Mingyu, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you, Mingyu.
Right.
Right. So Dr. Mingyu is with us online anyway. So I think I will pass the part of booty to Dr. Mingyu, because I think he have done a very good job in having this kind of data collection, trying to reach out all those stakeholders to get all this information about the booty.
Yeah, thank you, Muhammad. And yeah, so it's really honored to give an introduction to Scottish booty. And
all right, Dr. Mingyu.
Right. Yeah, thank you, Frankie. I can see like my voice has been passing through, but
yes, that's Dr. Mingyu.
Yeah, Muhammad, are you all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I keep going.
Our technical is trying to connect with Dr. Mingyu.
Right.
All right. So while waiting for Dr. Mingyu, I think it's the best thing. Sorry.
By the way, Doctor, can I ask something? Basically, what are the similarities between Boothi and Putri Bongsu?
I see. I think in terms, I think what we can see that in terms, is much more intangible anyway. We were thinking, I think, I mean, in terms of architecture, probably totally will be in contrast anyway. But I think in terms of the spirit of people who are willing to take care of both of these buildings, I think something that we should cherish. Talking about the Istana itself, you know, we have JM as well as UKM as the caretaker, and for the boutique itself, you know, he been looked after by the community, which is something that I think Dr. Mingyu will explain further about this.
Yes, Dr. Mingyu.
Right. Yeah. Right. So is that sorted? Can you hear me?
It's our technical.
Yeah.
Our technical side trying to.
I think the rest of the room probably can, as Francesca has confirmed. Yeah. Okay, so I will just carry on. I think so. So it's really honored to.
Cool. Yes. All right, Mingyu, we can hear you clearly. All right, Mingyu. Mingyu,
Great. I think that's just something that. So yeah, I'm back. Anyway, so yeah, so it's really honored to give the introduction to the Scottish bothy to all of you. So I think the background image I have, I mean, as my Zoom background is quite like a stereotyping image or impression of Scottish bothy. Yeah, if you Google it or you have some notion about Scottish bothy, so it's basically like a very common character. They are almost all located in remote area in Scotland. So you get most of them in Scotland, but you do have few in England and Wales. Normally, single story, and I would say quite small to keep the insulation. So that's built for the climate, for the climate and environmental character in Scotland. So basically, here is on average almost 19 degrees cooler than the temperature in Malaysia, and then, but and much windier, and then I would say tougher, especially in the past, to survive in such remote area. So insulation is more considered than ventilation. So as the techniques Muhammad showed in his case study in Malaysia. So for the history of the common Scottish bothies, they are mostly built in 19th century, so from 1800s to 1900s, before the Industrial Revolution, so which led to huge depopulation in rural area in British Island. And they were originally built for rangers and shepherds to get a shelter to live in such remote area. And nowadays, we still don't have much vehicular access to most of the bothies. So for some bothies, even have much easier access. You got to have a good 4x4 vehicle to maybe drive across some burns. That's like Scottish term for the streams. So to drive through the burns and some hills to access to the bothy. And then across those bothies, and it's really a variety in availability in record and the variation in the maintenance condition. So for this study, we have done some desktop studies to review quite several bothies to choose between, and then we found two of the bothies suitable to conduct a conduct the field trip, and then eventually we are as the case study we are presented in our poster. We eventually selected one called Abyssinia bothy. So this one was built in late 1860s, and the name of Abyssinia was recorded because the residents called John McNabb, who lived in there from 1880s, served in the Abyssinia campaign with the British Army in Ethiopia. And there's a very interesting fact is that so for most of the bothies, like the inhabitants, the residents, or the shepherds living in there, they got their nickname to be called by their friends and surrounding rangers by the bothy's name, and the bothy is normally named by the location or some other characters. And then this one is a one of a few example, like the bothy was named after the shepherd who used to live in there. So Abyssinia, that's the nickname of the shepherd who used to live in there, because he really liked telling the story about his story, like serving in the Abyssinia campaign, and then people just got him the nickname, and then the nickname passed on to the body he lived in and became a part of historic record. So if we move on to building design and material, the very significant character is that they got the very small window, and originally it had dense heater roof to maintain some insulation against the cold, and it's got solid and thick stone wall to protect the inhabitants from the weather, and they are built in permanent location above the stream and valley, and to be high enough to be safe from the flooding risks. So if we just get back to the Abyssinia body, so like most of the bodies, it's got almost abandoned from 1920s for about half a century, and then with the increasing popularity to access to the natural environment, especially in 1960s. So it's got very initial restoration work from some individuals from 1980s, and the systematic major restoration was conducted by the Mountain Bothy Association, which is a charity started from 1965, and looking after most of the bothies in the UK. So they got the major restoration work for Abyssinia bothy in 2017, and now as a part of the system, this bothy can also provide free access to everyone with the basic living facilities. And so the lesson or the wisdom we learned, I think mostly it's about local material for the architecture style, for the architecture design, architecture construction, and for the later maintenance work. So it's very interesting. So we learned for the management and restoration, the process. The Mountain Bothy Association, we only use the volunteers with the really traditional construction way to lay the stone, to make the concrete, and then that's not only so it's for both the sustainability consideration, and it's also because the constraint of the transportation of the material and machinery onto the site for the maintenance work. And so we wish to explore this story to inspire future architectural design and maintenance work as well, to explore local material and the traditional method to reduce the carbon footprint. And that's the basic story about the body. So thank you.
In fact, for your information, one of the reasons why we having this kind of augmented reality for the case study, because one of the things talking about booty is it's not accessible to people. So it's good to have this kind of exhibition that bring people to the booty in much more easier way using the augmented reality. Okay. And same goes with the stand as well, because we have we have this kind of carrying capacity to make sure that there will be like a maximum number that people that can enter the palace at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are the things that we were thinking that, you know, by having the augmented reality exhibition, by bringing all these 3D model to the people in much more immersive way, I think at least they will get some sort of like the ideas of the uniqueness of the booty as well as the palace itself. Yeah.
Meaning that booty is not a kind of residential house, but it is some kind like lodging for the shepherds.
Yes, it used to be something like that. Yeah, I mean, you, Dr. Mingyu.
Is it a lodging for the shepherds, actually, the booty? It's not a kind of residential house.
No, no, it's not. It's originally built for shepherd, and then in terms of their ownership, that's quite vary as well. So some shepherds build their own bothy for their own activities, and then some of the bothy might be built by their their bigger landlord for their shepherd, the hare. So some of the shepherds could own bothy, and then some of them probably just live it live in there as their temporary shelter, and then it's really transferable. So probably in these 10 years, and then those people living in this body, and then they move to another body, and that's so it's not like quite residential house. It's mainly built for the shepherd. Yeah.
So you can see like a different, what we call it, a different lifestyle. Okay, for the palace itself, for the restaurant.
So can I conclude that the similarity between Bothy and the palace, okay, the youngest princess palace, the similarity is the spirit of intention to preserve the heritage. Is it correct?
Yes.
Okay. Because according to the design, it's totally different.
Yeah, totally different. Yeah.
And then the use of the putti and the palace itself is totally different. But then merely the spirit of intention to preserve the heritage becoming the main target. Why we the objective of having this kind of research.
Indeed, it's something that connects two different cultures.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So I think behind of the project anyway, I think we have the best we are so blessed to have Dr. Francesca, because without her, I think she's the glue. She's for me, for us, I think she's the glue, that kind of a glue to everyone, because she's the one who kind of handle all these kind of programs, as well as our budgeting and the way how we're going to present all this work. So I think it's all right, without further ado, we invite Dr. Francesca to share what we have done so far with our exhibition, as well with our with what we have done so far with our project.
Selamat petang, good morning and good afternoon. Hopefully you can hear me. So I've been brilliant to be able to bring this to everybody, to be live. Really, really exciting. Thank you so much for having us all the way over there in Malaysia. Me and Mingyu got up quite early this morning, but absolutely a delight to be able to join you. And I've got the opportunity also to talk about some of the challenges, because I think something that's really important as we share what we've learnt, as we share what we've discovered in terms of the buildings and the way these places are created, is also actually what we learn in terms of the project itself. And one thing we had to do very early on was be really realistic about what could be achieved in the project. And I think when you are trying to plan something like this, it's really exciting to get very enthusiastic about all the research you could do, and forget that also you need to make sure that you have impact and that you're sharing that knowledge along the way. So as we've been able to celebrate the incredible landscapes and the incredible buildings and the communities that have created those buildings in Malaysia and in Scotland, we also wanted to make sure we were bringing it to different people who wouldn't necessarily be able to see it. And so the presentations that we've done have been in a range of places. We had the incredible experience of doing a presentation outside in St. Andrew's Botanical Gardens, which was really exciting and interesting, and I'll talk more about that in just a second. But we've also been able to have the opportunity for Solehin to take people around the palace and show the Scottish body in a completely different context, because, you know, as we're discussing here today, they are very different buildings. But one thing that really comes through in both is that it's the way you're able to create a building from the materials that are around you. And it's the way that people historically have been able to build buildings that are in tune with their landscapes. And we can be very modern in some of our designs these days. And sometimes we might throw a building onto a landscape that isn't necessarily in tune with that landscape. So a lot of what we've been talking about already is about how we control the climate, for example, inside the places that we live. And the beautiful palace obviously has a way of having air flow through it, through those beautiful, intricate designs, to maintain a temperature, whereas the body was built with very small windows to try and keep all of the heat in as much as possible. And also in having a thatch roof, so it's something you're easily able to repair. Whereas in the vernacular design of the palace, it's more of a jigsaw setup, so you would be able to modularly move things. And while they look on the surface very different, obviously, once you start to dig into these things, as with research, you discover so much more. So what I'm going to touch on is actually some of the challenges that we've come up against. And the best made plans of mice and men is a proverb that reminds us that it doesn't matter how well you plan, things will not always go your way. And so I'm just going to touch on a few of those so that hopefully anybody who's listening will have the opportunity to learn from our challenges and maybe some of our mistakes and be able to develop their own projects and take their ideas and do something as exciting as we have had the privilege to do with this project from the British Council. So be prepared to adapt to change, I think is the first thing we've learned. We had initially intended to do a number of exhibits in very specific places. And due to things completely out of our control, like a change to the teaching timetable in Scotland, we unfortunately don't control all universities, so we couldn't do that one. And also due to venue availability and changes to exhibits, we weren't able to initially present in the places that we had intended to. And so being able to adapt to that, being able to connect with people who could give us other opportunities, allowed us actually to be able to come up with solutions. And it's really important that you're communicating this with the funders as you go along. So we made sure that we would talk through the problem as a team, work out what was the main aim that we wanted to achieve with that initial plan, and then come up with a solution that we could then present to our funder and say, this is our solution, this is why we're going to do it, is that all right? And it's much better to be able to present an idea of why you think this alternative is suitable, rather than saying, oh no, we can't do it, which is initially sometimes the feeling. And that staying in communication has really been one of the strengths of the project. It's been able to provide us with unique opportunities. St. Andrew Botanical Gardens were so kind in letting us use their amazing frame of a greenhouse for our presentation. And it was just wonderful when we had a couple from Europe say, oh, wow, like we've never seen something like this before. And they were able to hear traditional Malay music as we were looking at the augmented reality version of the palace. And then we were also able to show them the unique building materials used in the Scottish body. The next one is you never know what the weather's going to be like. This is Scotland behind me here. And as you can see, there is snow on that mountain. And this is a picture that we took for Mingyu and I when we were on our site visit. It was so cold and so wet. And then when we came to do our exhibit, we were lucky enough to have Solehin be able to fly over and join us. And he didn't pack a coat. So sometimes you just have to be ready for the unexpected. Our posters at one point, it was so bright and so sunny that you couldn't scan them. So we had to print out a smaller version of the QR code so that you could scan it on a piece of paper. And just being able to be prepared for a change in circumstances and not stress too much that it's not going exactly as you planned. Because when you're writing a funding bid, you explicitly outline, oh, this is where we're going to exhibit, this is what we're going to do. So then when that changes, it can really feel like you've done something wrong. But if you're prepared and you're ready to adapt, and maybe you can borrow a coat from a friend, then you'll find it's a much more enjoyable experience. And the final lesson was that together is much better than apart. And even if that means working over different time zones and geographical distances, which can be really awkward. And this is about doing things like setting up a sharing folder. It's about having a bit of a chat at the beginning of your meeting, so you're able to really touch base with the other person and know what's going on with them. We had the absolute privilege as a research team of Mingyu becoming a father during this time. And wow, what an exciting thing that was to feel like we were a part of. I feel like that baby is the bonus member to our team. And it was also, though, in that communication that you're able to connect with each other as humans, but you're also able to connect then on a professional level. And we were able to build on each other's strengths to be able to develop this project. I mean, what an exciting thing to be able to create an augmented reality model and then take that 3D version of it around the world. That's not something I personally could do. But what I could do was assist when we were looking at the models to make sure that they were accurate. The same as Mingyu's fantastic ability to research and connect with people brought us that relationship with the Mountain Body Association. It's really about being able to engage with each other's strengths. And it can be difficult if you find that you disagree on something, but because you're all working towards a shared goal, it's really about building towards that rather than tearing an idea down. Ultimately, and that's one of the exciting things about this grant, is it's been about building a connection with other people. And it's been so fantastic that we've been able to have other people help and support us. We've been able to invest time and energy in building our relationship as a team, but also we've been able to work with the Mountain Body Association, the Botanical Gardens in St. Andrew, and the team out in Malaysia who have given us, like this opportunity today, such a privilege to take part. So I'm just going to sum up by saying, as you might have guessed, my part in the project was really around clear communication. And I will share a link in the chat to the blog posts that we've done alongside this. And that's probably the final thing I will say about this project is, as exciting as it is to do your research, make sure you're also thinking about how you're going to share it. And make sure you're giving it some longevity by posting it on websites, by taking part in opportunities like this where you can discuss it. And even if you're lucky enough to go on TV, as Solehin was, then make sure you take those opportunities as well. Because ultimately, we have had some fantastic experiences and we've been able to share food and knowledge and culture. And I don't think we could have done it any other way.
Nasi lemak.
Surprisingly.
And sambal as well. So we have this kind of, we have a wonderful moment, right? Where we learn how to cook Malaysian food, and then we have like a barbecue outside during at night. So I think this is something that we really enjoy doing.
By the way, is it autumn in Scotland?
I think summer, right? Is it summer?
Still summer.
Yeah, it's the end of summer.
Yeah, end of summer. But today, I think it's 12 Celsius outside at the moment. So, well, pretty cold.
And has it been raining every day with you? I'm in England at the moment. Has it been raining every day in Scotland?
Yeah, stormy from the beginning of this week.
I think we have this kind of like we already say that we have like we have this like UK weather is like always like wetter and wetter. So yeah. So it was good. It was good to me like last time we can recall back what we had gained from the exhibition and all those things that we kind of having like. On the teams side, I think we have shared to learn about other cultures in terms of talking about different perspective. Is something that on top of the project, I think on behalf of us, I think we have to learn a lot. Yeah. I think the best way to wrap up, our sharing session is showing the audience the video that we have prepared. Yeah. So this is something a glimpse of what we have done previously in the Scotland.
Oh, yes. Response from the audience.
And so that gives us a really good lesson, like to reduce carbon footprint.
Outdoor exhibition. We never thought we're going to have the outdoor exhibition. So it's something that we haven't really prepared.
Very good.
And who's looking after sites like this today?
So at the moment, the charity of Mountain Photography Association, they are in charge to look after almost 130 photos across Scotland. And so thanks to
Thankfully, it's just round the corner because we've been fortunate enough that Muhammad has flown all the way over to join us. Fantastic. Muhammad, thank you so much for joining us here today. Could you tell us a little bit more about the Royal Palace?
Thank you very much, Frankie, for having me here. So basically, this palace is one of the oldest wooden palaces that existed in Malaysia. So if you can see that, I mean, this palace is been built by one of the royal houses in Malaysia known as Kelantan Sultanate. So this royal palace basically is belong to the last youngest princess of the sultanate as part of the gift from his father. All right. So if you can see that most of this palace itself have a very unique features. Some of it because it reflect the royalty as well as the culture values that embedded into the design and feature of the palace itself. One of the unique features that we can see here is built on the steel, whereby this palace used to be located somewhere nearby to the prone area as well as in the coastal area. So currently what we did right now is like this place have been moved into a new site which is nearby to my current university. Alright.
So tell me a little bit about how you can move a site like this.
Alright. That's a good question anyway. So this palace basically is built using interlocking joint, whereby I think it's one of the marvel in the Malay architecture, whereby you can move it, whereby you can assemble and disassemble it and build somewhere else. All right.
That's amazing. And these posters have all got AR in them, haven't they? So if we were to
yes.
zoom in, we can see the different parts.
Yes, indeed. I mean, we have some unique features that you can easily find in the Royal Palace, whereby we have this kekisi. All right, kekisi is a very intricate design of the wall panel that been used as a hole for the wind to enter or to enter and giving a cooling effect for the whole palace. Yeah.
That's absolutely fascinating. And hopefully we'll soon have some of that Malaysian sunshine here. Now, before the Scottish summer turns even stormier on us, I better go and explore the rest of the garden.
Oh,
Yes. So it was good to have that kind of outdoor exhibition surrounded with the green, a large green lush green environment with a lot of flowers. So it was really I mean we really enjoy having that kind of exhibition. Yeah, we never thought at first we never thought we were going to have like outdoor exhibition at first place, because basically what we always think that, you know, if you have this kind of poster exhibition, probably will be much more convenient to have it in the indoor. Turn out we were so thrilled, because we never thought, I mean, like, you know, you can always, this is something that Dr. Frankie mentioned just now, Francesca mentioned just now, about how you're able to be flexible in coping with all these kind of challenges throughout the process. And I think we have learned a lot from this. Yeah.
Well, I think our audience, if you have any question to be proceed, you may ask, you may write in the questions so far. Okay.
Fair enough.
Well, Doctor, by the way, at first, instead of Boothi, actually, is there any other buildings or monuments that to be intended to, I mean, intended to be compared instead of Boothi at first?
Oh, wow, that's yeah. I mean, the first place we were thinking to find to get something that's similar to the palace itself, talking about the palace somewhere in Scotland, but you know, it will be much more harder, because you know you need to deal with a lot like you know, with a lot like other bureaucracy issues. So yeah, so the best part, I think Boothi is very good example, because we can see the different, as I mentioned just now, we can see the different in terms of, you know, different in terms of architecture, in terms of the owner of the building itself. So we can see how and then it's good narrative for our project anyway, talking about from heart to the palace. So we can see a different type of architecture within the one exhibition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So far, do we have any questions? No. Okay.
All right.
No question. Okay, Doctor. You want to?
Yeah. I think on behalf of the collaborator, Dr. Mingyu and Dr. Francesca, we would like to thank once again to PATMA for having us here, and to the British Council for funding our research grant, and to
Need to highlight.
yes, I think that's the biggest part. We need to highlight the British Council. Without them, I think we couldn't achieve this kind of project anyway. So and then to all our collaborators from the EKN, from SRUC, as well from ATMA. I think we have achieved so far. We have achieved a lot of things. I mean, like, within a very short time of project, within like 8 months, we never thought we can have a different type of different exhibitions, different venue of exhibitions, and then we have 2 sharing sessions which include this as well. So I think this is all. I think all of this is from all those supports from a different from all of our collaborators, from our institutes, and also this is something that in future we are looking forward to extend our research, looking how we can do better or to share more about Buddhists as well at the palace to a much more wider audience. Yeah.
By the way, Doctor, technically, okay, what is the distinctive or the difference between augmented reality and virtual reality?
Oh my! All right. So
we talked about this a lot.
Both of them are from the same so-called same family, talking about extended reality. But when talking about virtual reality, it's much more. At first place we're talking. We trying to use. We try to emphasize on the virtual reality, because in virtual reality it's much more giving you much more like immersive experience, because you will one thing, because you have this kind of support from the VR tools, so sort of like what you call that, like a Google VR that you wear it. Yeah, But
It's quite expensive.
yeah, indeed, it's a bit expensive somehow. But we opt for augmented reality because we feel that it's much more convenient. It's much more friendly for people to access because it's just a matter of having a mobile phone or your tab. So it's and also with a good internet connections. Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's something, you know, perhaps in the future we're going to look into virtual reality somehow, and how this can be, you know, can be expanded to other realities. Yeah.
Well, Doctor, is there any?
I think that's a wrap from everything from my part. From Mingyu, from the Mingyu, and also Francesca.
Just thank you very much for having us. It's lovely that we've had the opportunity to share it with everybody online and across the world now. It's really exciting. Thank you.
Yeah, same here. Thank you, everyone. It's yeah, I really enjoyed this opportunity, like talking to everyone and share our project, and especially see you all again.
The label and civilization. Well, actually, we really have a great honor to have both of you to join us. Okay, thank you so much for your sharing. And dalam pada itu, kepada penonton dalam talian dari kalangan warga UKM, kita ada menyediakan pautan untuk memastikan kehadiran kehadiran untuk program Bicara Alam Melayu kali yang ke-16 ini. Okey. Ada dipaparkan ya? Ada di link ya. Jadi kepada warga UKM bolehlah mengimbas ataupun imbas ke link ke pautan yang dipaparkan. Well, to our Dr. Mingyu and Dr. Francesca, thank you so much for your participation, particularly your beneficial information. It's really truly beneficial to us since we are new about the knowledge itself, the utilization of the augmented reality.
Yeah.
See, like me myself, I'm from the library. I'm from the library science, and definitely it's truly new to me. Okay, well, buat akhirnya, terima kasih banyak-banyak kepada para penonton dalam talian yang sudi untuk mengikuti program Bicara Alam Melayu pada kali ini. Dan insya-Allah pada musim akan datang, pada bulan-bulan yang akan datang, mungkin tahun hadapan, kita akan datangkan dengan topik-topik penyelidikan yang baru untuk dikongsikan bersama dengan para penonton dalam talian. Maka dengan ini kita tamatkan program kita pada kali ini dengan saya mengakhirinya dengan wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.